Okay, so today we're dealing with stock selection. All right, how should we select the stocks, and how should we figure out when to enter, not only selection, but when to enter the trade. So that's what we'll talk about today. And so I'm going to share my screen with you. Let me, yeah, here we are. Share screen. All right, that's my orders. I did a bunch of selling today. And I normally don't do that much. I normally don't have that much activity, very much less. But today I just happened to sell a couple of items that made some profits, and so I wanted to take advantage of that. Okay, so here we go. Stock selection, and then what I'll do is maybe section by section I could probably review with examples. That might be better. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is this. First thing we do is to narrow down your watch list. Okay. And I had given all of you a list of sample stocks, and there were some that was a list of stocks that were all below 200 rupees. And my purpose in doing that was that many were just starting out and their capital is much less. Some were starting out with just 500 or 1,000. And so I wanted to give the watch list that was, cheaper ones. All right, and then here we go. How to narrow down your watch list. First, use your own criteria and your own indicators. Okay, what I mean by that is you need to figure out which criteria is important for you and use that. And we're going to look at some indicators soon. First, you want to separate stocks that are trending. Okay, find stocks that are trending and separate those. Make another list, separate list. And then out of those stocks, make a more careful analysis and make a much smaller list of 5 to 10 stocks that have a high probability of going up in value. All right, these are called high probability trades. We cannot foretell the future, but we can figure out trades that have a higher probability. And then last, trade with the first indicator for at least 1 month or more before adding more indicators. Okay, so you trade at least. So those who are just learning, I would say use the 1 minute. Let me get this. Yeah, those who are just learning, I would say use the moving averages. Okay, use the moving averages to select. Yeah, to find what is trending. Okay, I think I'm going to have to share the screen again. I had closed. Hi, Savida, good to see you. All right, and I will do this directly from Zerodha. Here is, and I have a video up for this, but then I will do it very quickly in case anyone would like to look at it right now. Okay, now, by the way, I use the trading view. Okay, I use the trading view charts, but in Zerodha also, you have the trading view available. How do you know it's trading view? Look on the bottom here. You see this, this picture here? If you have that, that is trading view. Both types will work, but then this one is a little bit different. And if you want to figure out how to get that trading view, you can simply go to your profile. I think, let's see. Yeah, if you go to your profile and here you can select Chart IQ or Trading View. You have both available. Okay, so both are available to you. And then what we'll do is look at Indian Oil IOC right here. Okay, see, I have the blue and the red line. So the blue line is the 20-day moving average and the red line is the 60-day moving average. So the basic idea is if the 20-day moving average is above the 60-day moving average, it is trending up. Okay, you see that's happening. But the only thing is, once in a while, it will turn around and it will go down, and then it's kind of a mixture right here. So what I did was at around this point, I entered in again and then got out later on. Okay. But as long as the 20-day is above the 60-day, the general trend is an uptrend. But then you will have the time when it will reverse and then you'll end up going down. But even if it had gone down, let's say that like right here, you see this? The place where it's going down, even then, let's see how much of a profit you would have made. I'm going to just look at it right now. All right, let's say you entered as soon as it went above, right? And then you got out as soon as it turned below. Look at that. Still, you end up with about 13% of a profit. Okay, so that's pretty good. And so that's one criteria that I use for the stock selection. So what I'm suggesting is those who are new to trading, use that indicator, the moving averages, okay? And find stocks that are trending like this, enter that trade and just wait. Don't do anything else, just wait, leave it there it might take a week or 2 weeks, sometimes a month or longer. Just stay in the trade. I would say just stay in the trade for that long, okay? And this right here is like maybe about a couple of weeks, right? Each candle is 1 day, all right? Let's look at the weekly chart and we'll get a better idea. Here it is. And all right. So on the weekly chart, that's about, about 2 to 3 weeks. That's what that was. Let me go back to the 1 day. Okay, so that's the first thing. Let me go back to this now. After you narrow down your watch list, okay, here's the first indicator. All right, and I've already given this moving average crossover. Use the 20 over 60, right? This will be slower. Okay, you may have to wait a month or longer for that to work. But stay in the trade as long as it continues to be on the uptrend. So just look at the chart every day. It may only take you 5 minutes, 10 minutes, that's all. Look at the chart, open it and take a look. As long as the 20 is over the 60, stay in it, okay? And then once it reverses, you can get out. And that's a good time to get out. Okay, the next indicator that I'm using is, support and resistance, okay? For support and resistance, you want to identify those particular levels. And how do you identify those levels? Several people have asked me, how do you identify those levels? And how do you draw all those lines? Where do you figure out how do you figure out where to draw the lines and all of that? I will give you a sample of that. So what you do is look for the most recent support or resistance. And if you're not sure what is support and resistance, I will explain that. And then make sure these recent ones are frequent, meaning make sure that it repeats, respects that level 2 or 3 times at least. All right. And then ideally, what you want to do is you want to enter at support and exit at resistance. Of course, doing that perfectly might not be so simple, but that is the ideal way. Okay, that way you end up getting the full benefit of that, but often you may not be able to get that much. All right, so support and resistance, how do you identify that? So let's look at a chart right now, and I will show you. No, this one is too busy. Let me find another one that I can even just get rid of some of this, or find one that has less busyness to it. My internet is a bit slow today. What am I using? It should be fast. I don't know why. All right. Okay, and for this, I'm using the weekly chart, by the way. And maybe because of the Zoom, all right, here we are. Here's one that we can use to show you the support and resistance. Let me see. Yeah, this is a perfect one. Perfect example. Okay, here we are. Okay, you see how the prices have gone up and it's coming down again. Okay, we call this swinging. Swings up, it swings down, swinging up and swings down, swinging up again. How far up will it go? Will it go up to here? Well, or will it go up to here? As you can see, I've drawn the resistance level right here. Why did I do that? Well, I looked at the most recent resistance level and I drew the line. How do you draw the line? On the left side, you'll find this place. If you double click that, and I've clicked for the horizontal line, and I'll just draw a second one just so to show how it's done. Here it is, okay? So the line is there. I drew that line and it'll be drawn horizontally. So even right here, you can see 3 times, 1, 2, 3, it's been respected. But then let's go back and look at the history here. See, there's another time right here. And this one also will count because it's not just that one particular line, it's basically the range. Okay, it's basically a particular range. Now, let me get rid of this. This wasn't a full line. I'll draw a separate one. And here it is. All right. So it's basically a range between these two. So 3, 4, 5 times it's been respected. And here, look at this range right here. Okay, right here, it's no longer resistance, it is support. Okay, it is at support. And then if you go further back, not much is shown there. It's been further up. Okay, so basically what happens is once the price goes below that support level, see that? It had gone down below the support level, and let's look at it. Okay, it went all the way down, and then here it found some support and it went back up. Okay, look where it went back up to. The previous support became resistance, and it swung down again and went back up. See, the previous support became resistance again, and then it swung down again. All right, and this was another line I had drawn way back, and that also began to be respected, but then it broke through. See, it broke through again, and then here's our support range, or our resistance range, which used to be support. Now it's pushing, it's trying to go up above it. It didn't work. Okay, it came back down. All right, see this? And so now what I'm doing is for NIACL, I'm watching this very carefully to see if it will break through this level. Okay, if it breaks through this level, what I will do is I will wait for it to come down again and then go back. It's called retest. See, that's what happened right here. See, it went up and then it went down again, but then it kept going down. So you don't want to enter just because it went above that line. You want to test it out for a retest. So once it goes up and it goes back down and then goes up again, at that point, it's a great time to enter. The probability is higher. So this is support upon top, resistance on the bottom. Sorry, resistance on the top and support on the bottom. It's a particular range, not a particular price. It's a particular range that becomes a point of reference or an area of value. Okay, so if you see, this was another line that I had drawn much earlier. I mentioned that before, and it didn't go all the way down. So in case this bearishness that we see, if it in case pushes it down, it may not go below this. It may not, okay? It may just bounce back up again. So I keep watching this. So if it goes down here, okay, I will see if it bounces up again. Then I will come back up again. All right, good. So let me get out of this screen share. And I have a question in the chat box. Let's see, who is this? Do you consider the wick on the candle to check resistance or just the end of the candle? Yes, I do check the wick because the price did go that high. It actually did go that high. You know, yesterday when I had done a day trade yesterday, I saw a resistance level and I set a price limit there to sell. And I remember just 2 days, I mean, sorry, not 2 days, like 2 minutes later, I heard the beeping sound because I don't have time to be looking at it all the time. But like 2 minutes later, I heard this beeping sound and it hit that level. But then it hit it and then it came back down again. And when the next 1 minute candle was made, it was just a wick. See, and the wick had touched that point. It actually did go there. But then fortunately for me, I had set the target and it sold. Okay. I hope that answers your question.
One more question, Pastor.
Yes, go ahead, go ahead.
Can you please show one more example of how to draw the resistance and support
Yes.
lines? I don't know why I get super confused. I can't understand how far back do you have to go to find the level.
All right. Minimum 2 or 3 touches.
Two or three what? Oh, touches. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I'll
do
take,
you start from the right, as in the present day?
you start
current.
from you start from the most recent ones.
Okay. And then you try to trace it back?
Yes. Okay. So shall we look at this? I think the screen is visible to all of you, my chart.
Yes.
Okay. So here is one right here that I saw this resistance and I drew the line. And what I'm doing is I'm going to go back, look at the history. All right. Look at that. See? So already there were how many? Just one resistance. And I put a question mark there. Is this a retracement or not? I don't know. I have to wait and see. Okay. If this continues up, see, now it's coming back to that level. If it continues up, then I may enter. But then there's always a chance it may just get bearish and keep going down. So I'm not going to enter right away. I want to confirm if it is a retracement. Now, here it is. One time it touched that level of resistance. See, 2, 3, and then look what happens. See, that actually was a point of support at one point. See, this was support. See, at one point it was support and the price was barely going below that. See, it kept it from going below. It kept it from going below. That was support. Okay, see, and it was resistance at one level. And that resistance, once it was broken and went up above, it became support. You see?
Pastor, you've gone back quite a few years. This is like 2018.
Yes, yes. And it is so weird. It's like how, it's almost like, do people actually remember this or but I don't know how that works. It's something to do with trading psychology. I don't know about that, but it seems to work on the charts. It seems to work. So basically, when I say that, it's not like guaranteed, but the percentage is pretty high that it will support that. So right now, here's what I'm doing. I'm trying. Okay, this is the weekly chart, by the way. Let's look at the daily chart, which is where we trade off of. Here's the daily chart. And this is what it did today. Look at that. See, it was a bullish, nice green candle, but there was a resistance of the higher price a little bit. Okay. And but then tomorrow, if this continues up, this may be a place to enter because this may have been the pullback. This may have been the pullback and the retracement. See that? See? So it went over that resistance, and then it tested it back down again. And if it continued further down, okay, forget it, we won't enter. But then look at that, it moved up again. So this may be a time to enter. NTPC might be a good place to enter. All right, does that help? Does that clarify that question? All right.
Yes, Pastor, it does to some extent, but I guess I need to try it out myself with a few more stocks to actually get the hang of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
You can actually just open up some, some others, random stocks, and then you can do the same thing again. Here's one. Britannia was one I looked at. Let's find one that is a little bit less expensive, so that it doesn't look intimidating. All right, here we are. Let's go to the weekly chart on the Indian hotels. Oh my internet is very slow today. Okay. All right. Okay, so here's level that I drew there, this line right here, okay? Let me get rid of this trend line so that so I can avoid the confusion. All right. I had an alert set on that. I'll get rid of that completely and I can draw it later. All right, so here's where I am right here. And then here's the most recent resistance. I drew the line and I'm going back and checking it. See that? 1, 2, 3. See, here's another area, 3, 4. It continues on. At that level, there's many places where it did that. Yeah. So that's a good way to do it. You can enter that. And then also you can also go and look at some of the more the ones on the bottom. See the like for example right here. You can see that this became a support right down here. So you can draw a line and then you can check, just draw a line and then see what happens back by back testing. You look back, see that all these places it was. See, so right now we're saying that this is a support. It didn't allow it to go further down. This is a support. It didn't allow it to go further down. But that support used to be a level of resistance. Here it is. See, it's a level of resistance. And then let's go back in history and see what happens. See that? It was support at that point. It was support right here. Look at that. So it's amazing. Yeah.
Pastor, it doesn't need to actually touch the candle. It can just be within that, near it, close by, right?
Yes, yes. That's why it's actually an area rather than a particular level, particular price point. And I would draw it something like this with two lines. Okay. Now there is a tool that draws that area, but I haven't found that yet. I'll keep looking for it. There is a tool. I've seen some people use that where you can just automatically draw it, and that entire level gets shaded in also. But that's fine.
All you're using trading view tools, I think. So that's
yes.
why it looks a little different from the Zerodha tools.
Right. By the way, Savita, I think you were not on at that time, connected at that time. If you go to your Zerodha kite and you open up and then you go to your user place.
Yes, I saw you could add a trading view to it.
Yes.
I heard that, Pastor. I'm going to do that.
Yeah, you just go to your profile and you're probably using Chart IQ. You can switch to trading view also.
Okay, yeah. I'll do that.
Okay, now what I do is, okay, so when I'm using this tradingview.com because it just gives more options for these, and I use a paid version. Otherwise, it just gives you one color, just a red. But that also is helpful. But since I'm also doing the, I'm using several colors for different purposes. Okay. All right. So yeah, here's the other example. The Indian hotels. Something is happening with my computer that it's dragging. Let me turn off my signal. Don't know why. Okay. Now I do know that I had to reload my Google Drive. They did something new, and I wonder if that's also what is causing me trouble. Not sure. All right, so here is the place. This is the level that I had drawn for Indian hotels. And look, it broke above that. Okay, now that it has broken above that, yeah, let's look at the daily chart and see what happened or what's happening. Look at that. Okay, it hasn't retraced and gone down, so it's still looking bullish. Okay, now I can check if there are any higher levels to look for. Okay, and for that, I'm going to go to the weekly chart and check and see if there are any other higher levels of resistance there. And this is how I will do it, because otherwise, if I look here, I don't know how much to aim, how much to target. So if I can go back, I can see, are there any other levels that are higher than this in the history of this chart, of this stock? And it looks like not much. Look at that, I'm going all the way back to 2013. It's like we're in new territory with the price. Okay. If I find anything way back, I would even try it. All right. There's some move up, but not much. See, that was like the higher levels it had gone, and it didn't really do much beyond that. So what does that mean? Well, it's hard to tell what that means, but it could mean that this may not go much further higher. Okay, but we have to see. We have to wait and see. All right, let me go back to my, all right, so indicators, we're looking for support and resistance, and we talked about what that is. And I have a video on support and resistance on my channel. You can take a look on the Trading Today channel, and you can find that. Okay, next one, after support and resistance, we're looking for, wow, candlestick patterns. All right, here we are. So what we want to do is look for indicators that, we want to look for candlesticks that show a trend reversal. That should not be indicated. That should be, let me just correct that right away. That should be, instead of indicators, we want to look for candlesticks that we want to look for candlesticks that show a trend reversal. All right, there are some candlesticks that will show that to you. Bullish engulfing candles is one, and hammer candles is another one, and dragonfly doji is another one. These are three that will help us to know if there is a trend reversal. Now, I haven't picked one out on the chart for you. Okay, I should have done that, but I didn't have time to find some like that. But what I will do is I will go to the lesson I had done before on candlesticks, and then I can show you what those candles look like. Here we go. Just a minute. Let me just open it, and then I will switch to that. Here we go. Yes. All right. So the candlestick patterns, and here are the ones that, so there it is. There's the dragonfly doji. You'll see right there. Come on. I don't know why this is so slow. Forgive me. All right, here's the dragonfly doji. You'll find, so this is the neutral doji. That means the price went up this high and it rejected that. It didn't. So the price opened at this level. It went up, it went down, but then it closed exactly where it opened. Long leg doji. Price opened here, went all the way up, went all the way down, but then it closed at that level. Okay, this is a bearish one. Okay, then where it opened here, it tried to go up, the higher prices got rejected and went down. So high probability that it's a bearish, it's going to keep going down. The dragonfly doji is a high probability where the price would go up. See, it opened here, the price tried to go down, and then see there is a reversal of that and rejection of lower prices and moving up. Okay. All right, next one. Here is so there's the dragonfly doji, and then bullish engulfing candle. See, this is one. All right, where you see the downtrend, okay, where, I showed you the swing up and swing down. So here's a swing down, and you see a candle like this, because it's been all red candles going down, red candles, it comes here. And then you see a bigger candle that is green, that is engulfing this candle, especially at the higher levels. It's engulfing that. All right, there's a high probability that it will keep going up after that one. Okay. Yes, same thing, engulfing bar. All right, here's the bullish engulfing. This is the bearish engulfing, where if the opposite happens with the red candle, it it's a bearish indicator, and this one is a bullish indicator. All right, one more. Yes, the other one is the hammer. Okay, so this is this hammer. The price opened here. It tried to go down. It was rejected, and it closed up here even higher. See that? And it tried to go up a little bit further, but didn't close there. It closed further down. But this is called the hammer. And the shooting star is the opposite of the hammer, where it opened here, went all the way up. The higher prices were rejected and went down, and then closed even lower. Now it tried to go further, but it didn't. So this would be a shooting star, which would be very bearish. But what we want to look for is the hammer. So three that we are looking for, three. Which ones? Bullish engulfing, hammer candles, and dragonfly doji. So here's the hammer. And here's the bullish engulfing ones right here. Two examples of that, bullish engulfing. And then the dragonfly doji, this one. Okay, so basically what we're doing is, when we see, now, will it always happen like that? Well, no, not necessarily, but you'll often see something similar to that. Okay, here's one, but although this was a reversal, this close of this second one was really not that high, but still it continued further up. Okay, so here is one where it almost looks like a hammer. Okay, it's a hammer right there. You see, it tried to go down, it was rejected and closed higher, and look what happens. It reverses that trend. And here again, right here, see this bearish engulfing candle? So after this bullish move up, look at that. This bearish engulfing candle shows up and reverses it. And now we will not always do that, but quite often. See, here it is. See this one? Now this one is too weak. That green one was too weak, too small. But then the one after that, just became much more bullish. But then if you look overall, it's the uptrend. And it reversed this 20 to 60-day moving average crossover. It reversed it. See, the 20 was below. So this huge push right here and right here, it made it go further up. Okay, so that's the second indicator. So the first indicator was support and resistance. And those who are brand new with trading, I recommend just getting in with support and moving average. Those who are brand new, just use the moving average and find three stocks that have the 20-day moving average higher than the 60-day. Buy those and wait 1, 2, 3, or 4 weeks, make a profit and sell. The second one is support and resistance. A nice way to learn. The way to do it is keep drawing the lines, When you draw the lines, okay, let me stop the video for a minute. Yeah, when you draw the line, please remember, when you draw the line, what you want to do is two things. You're looking for the most recent level of resistance or support, and the most frequent. Recent and frequent. Those are two things you want to look for. All right, and you could probably say recency and frequency. Okay, but recent and frequent. So find the level that was most recent, and then make sure that it's very frequent, like at least 2 or 3 times. All right. Let's go back to the PowerPoint, and then we'll finish it up now. Okay, so we just looked at candlestick patterns. Now the next one is trend lines. Okay, you can draw trend lines where the line touches at least 3 points of support and resistance. Okay, select trend movements that are no larger than 45-degree angles. Okay, so what are trend lines? And let's look at that right here. Wow, something's happening with my computer. Sorry about that. This is not I've got 8 GB RAM here, but It's weird that it is, let me unplug turn off the power supply. And maybe the fan is blowing like crazy. Maybe that's what's causing that. I'm not sure. I'll go back to my watch list that I had shared earlier. Yeah, I think I'm going to try to remove the new. All right, let's go here. A nice thing about trading view charts is that when you are here, you can actually just press the space bar and it will go from one stock to the next. That's a nice feature that it has. I'll show you where I have drawn some trend lines. Sorry about that. Yes, here it is, Indian oil. Okay, this is where I had drawn the trend line. And let me take out this resistance level here. I'll get rid of that so you can see. All right, see this? Okay, and then you can see, so a trend has been set going up. It's an uptrend. How do we know it's an uptrend? Well, see, the highs are higher, higher, and higher. See, higher highs and higher highs. The lows are higher and higher and higher. Okay, so that's an uptrend. So what you do is you draw the line with at least two places where it touches, or three, but this is two right here, and that should be fine. And here as well, same thing. I found 2, 3 levels, 3 places where it has touched. Now I'm observing this. This is on my watch list, and I'm observing this to see what happens. See this? So I'm waiting to see if. Look at that. Can anyone tell me what kind of a candle this one is this week?
Hammer?
Yeah, that's a hammer candle. See, that's a hammer candle, and so it's a bullish trend. But let's look on the daily chart and see what is actually happening there for the week. Look at that. See, so it was a nice uptrend, and it reversed down, but then there's a doji. See the doji? So the doji means that there could be a change, or it could continue. See, it's a bullish, bearish trend right there, a short bearish trend. And let's see if it continues. Instead, it reversed and went back up. So it's continuing this overall trend. So when we look at the weekly chart, you'll see that that trend is actually a trend line. Okay, I'm drawing a trend line. Now, what that means is once it breaks above this trend line, I will, just like the support and resistance, I will wait to see if it comes and retests and then goes back. Okay, same principle, but the difference is I'm drawing the trend line. Okay, I'm following the trend line. Okay, all right, but select trend movements that are no larger than a 45-degree angle. Okay, some will be even much more steep, like this JSW energy. Look at that, it's too steep. All right, but let me just show this to you. By the way, this was in my weekly video, and some of you might have seen that. Let me go to the weekly. Yeah, it is the weekly. Yeah, let's look at this. Look at this, and I had mentioned it in there. And I don't know if any of you took this trade this week, you would have made some money this week already. Look at that. Okay, here it is. During this week, it had made 24%. During this 1 week, it did 5%, over 5%, over 8%, over 9% last week. And this week, look at this week. This week, it's only Thursday, 10% already. So it's like a strong bullishness with weekly gains. Now, the only thing is, should you get in? Well, I don't know, because the thing is, this is like, this is breaking new ground for JSW Energy. Okay, and keep in mind, JSW Energy is one of those stocks that if you buy, you have to wait for about 3 days before you can sell. It has to go into the DMAT before you can sell. I don't know why they have it like that. Some reason for it. In case any of you know what that reason might be, I really don't know. I haven't looked it up. Okay, let's go back to our stock selection. So trend lines was the one, and the last one is triangle patterns. I believe it's the last one. Let's see. No, there's one more after that. Okay, triangle patterns, or is it same? I think both are triangle patterns. It's a copy of the same. Wow. Okay. All right. So with triangle patterns, I'm looking for sideways movement, and then identify areas where the swing gets smaller and smaller. The smaller swings indicate a price tension. Okay, it's like a tension, and I'll explain what that means. Tension creates a breakout, but the breakout can be bearish or it can be bullish. Let's look at it. All right. I've drawn a few of the, yeah, here's one. Let me get a better view here. That is a triangle pattern. That I was trying to draw a triangle pattern right here. Okay, so I drew this, found a place where it's forming a pattern that looks like a triangle, and so the bottom place, I'm making sure that it touches at least 2 or 3 times. There it is, and here also it's touching 2 or 3 times. All right, so I drew this, and I was watching out for a breakout. And look at that. It broke out of that level. And how much would I have gained if I had entered, okay, just this particular, move, that would have given you 11%. Look at that. Okay. So what does that mean? Well, that means I could have waited for this trend line. See, I'm sorry, this resistance level. This is the resistance level. I could have waited for the resistance level, but then I would have lost this 11% that I could have gained. Instead, you could enter here. Once this triangle pattern is broken through, you can enter here. Now, here's a resistance. Okay, here's a resistance. So I'm going to now wait and see what happens here. If it will break through or not. If it breaks through the resistance level, all right, I'm going to still wait. I won't jump in and wait for a possible retracement going down again, and then I'll wait for it to go up. At that point, I would enter and look for another level. Okay, but it doesn't seem to have much higher levels. Okay, all right. So if it doesn't have higher levels, I've just been looking at pure price action to take the trades. Okay, that's all I would do. All right, so that's the triangle pattern. Let me see if I have another example of a triangle pattern. Yeah. This is also another example of a triangle pattern. Let me get my charts in order here. Yeah, there's another example of a triangle pattern. So I'm sorry. Yeah, see the swing was larger. See, the swing was very wide, swinging wide, but then swing gets smaller and smaller. And sometimes you'll find that this swing can even get even smaller than this. Okay, and the smaller it gets, all right, it's like it creates a tension psychologically, all right, because here people are willing to pay a higher price and even lower price. So it's like very general. Okay, whatever price you can take, just people willing to sell at any price like this. But now here, people are getting more picky. They're like, no, I don't want to get too much higher. They don't want to get too much lower. And see, and so it's like a tension. Once you get to that place, you can expect a breakout, either higher or lower. Now I want to see what happens here. Let's look at Gale and a couple of others and see. All right, here also was a triangle pattern that I drew here. Look at I hope you can see the triangle that I drew here, and where I found 2 or 3 places of where it touches that line, and then here also 2 or 3 places where it touches the line. Now, once it broke out, and this candle right here that was created this week. Let's look at the daily chart, which is a better representation of what's happening for the trades that we are taking. Look at that, look at that. See, it broke out of this level and it looks like it's retracing and it went back up. Nice bearish candle, bullish candle, went up and it's coming back down again, okay? And let's see. If now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for it to go above this level of resistance, okay? I'm going to keep waiting until it gets to this level of resistance. And if you want, you could even take that trade up to that level of resistance. Where is it? Yeah, let's take a look at that price range and see if, let's suppose if you were to enter here and up to that resistance, that would be 9%, almost 10, 9.98. See, that's almost 10% right there. Look at that. So by drawing this, how do I get rid of this? Well, I could just leave it there. By drawing this triangle pattern, if I didn't draw that, I would be waiting for this resistance level. Instead, I drew the triangle pattern and I was able to take advantage of this kind of a movement. Look at that, which is almost 10% movement. See that? Now, what I'll do, I'll wait to go over this, or I could take this as well. And then once it gets here, I'll get out of it. Why would I get out of it? Because there's a resistance coming up and I don't want to mess with it and see this kind of a movement. I don't want that. I don't want a bearish movement. So I'll just get out at that point and then wait and see what happens. It may continue going up. If it goes up, I want to wait for a retracement coming back down and then bounce back up. Then I would get in again. Once I get in again, here I've drawn several other levels. How did I draw those levels? I drew those levels because of previous highs that were there. Look at that. It's way back in history, but I drew it anyway. And the reason I drew that is because usually these things seem to respect even some of these older ones. Okay, you'll see. Look, what year is that? December? I don't know what it is. Yeah. 2019. See, 2018 and 19. And it seems to respect that level. All right, now there was a bearish trend way down, very low. Okay, and then it started making a movement up again, and it's on the up movement right here. And let's see if it just continues bearish or will it take this. And if it breaks about this and retraces, it can keep going up again. All right, back to the stock selection indicators, the triangle patterns, and that's it. Okay, and before I get to my questions, here's a few ways that you can get involved. All right, first, make sure as much as possible, ask questions in the Signal trading group, the Trading Today group. Okay, why? Well, because by asking questions in that group, you'll still get the answer, but the difference is that others may have the same question and may be hesitant to ask. They will also benefit from that. Okay. Second, you can get involved by answering questions to increase your knowledge and skills. So when you train others, you improve your skills. Now, if somebody asks a question, you can actually go to Google and find the answer and figure it out and give them the answer. Okay, that's also a good way because you're increasing your knowledge too. Okay, so by helping answer other people's questions, you increase your knowledge and your skills. Number three, I would ask you to share my Zerodha link for opening accounts because I don't charge for the training, the coaching, and trading tips I give. That's if you have friends that are wanting to learn trading. Okay, I would ask you to share my link because I get a small amount out of it. Now, you might be thinking, small? How small? Well, I started doing this in January, and as of the last month, I've gained probably only about 260 rupees or 205 rupees, something like that, 205 or 206. So it's not like I'm getting rich off of it, but it's a tiny little amount. But I would appreciate if you would share that link. Next, if you try tradingview.com, and if you like it, and if you're opening an account, even if it's a free account, please use my link. And you'll find my link for that also under any of the more recent YouTube videos that I'm putting up. Like when you see this video going up, you'll see that in the bottom. And then, of course, here's another way you can help by subscribing, commenting, and sharing the videos on Trading Today YouTube channel. Now, it's not getting a whole lot of views, and it's not, it's just right now, it's only for this group. It's not something that's, really out there for lots and lots of people, but, but it's something you could do to help out. Okay, so let me just open up for questions and give you an opportunity to ask. I know there's a lot of information today, but I should have the video up by tomorrow so that in case you have, you want to review it, you can review it again. Okay, let me just open up for questions. Ajish, Sachin, Pastor Mukesh, Benson is still there, good. Charlie, if you are interested, any doubts, questions, clarifications?
I have a question.
Yes.
Sorry if it's too much noise here. I'm downstairs.
Yes.
I want to know what if just an example that what if IOC is not hitting the support level, but it's just moving on near the resistance. It goes a bit up, down, up, down. So what should I do? I mean, I wait for 2 days. I see, but I'm so in need to buy that, but
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
Right. What I do is I have a long list of stocks. Now, I shared with you a long list also, the companies that are below 200. So I have all of those plus more on my list. It's a long list. So what I do is those that are playing around near that resistance level, okay, those that are doing this, I keep watching that, okay? I just slip through it. I keep watching it. But I also look if it is doing this. See, if it is doing this and is repeating that 2 or 3 times, what I would do is when it's down here and I see a reversal candle, which are those? Bullish engulfing, the big green candle, the hammer candle, and the butterfly doji, okay? If I see any of those 3, that is an indicator that I can enter there. Because, see, as you said, the resistance is there, right? It's hitting the resistance and not going up. But while it's doing this, I can still make money on that. See, because it goes down, and then I'll enter, and then I'll put a target at this level, okay? And then I'll make that. And then I'll wait for it to go down. And then I'll make money on it again. Again and again, I can make money on that same stock. If you find one that's just doing this, that's a perfect one. You can get multiple trades off of that, okay? And using TradingView charts, you can actually calculate what kind of percentage you can get out of that. But the only thing is you need to be a little bit patient and look at the charts. See, you're working all day long, right? You come home very late. But like in the evening, right? Like this time, you can sit there and you can look at these and you can draw those levels. And sometime in the morning, when you see that reversal candle, okay, you write that down. And then the next day, you can enter that trade and put your target at that level, just right below the resistance, okay? If the resistance is at, 75 rupees, then I would put my target at 74 or 73, see? Because it's not a particular price point, the resistance, it's a range. So if it's doing this, that may be a good place to, stock to take advantage of. Good. Someone has asked the question, Ajish, which indicator has the highest probability of success? See, yeah, okay, so he's changing the question. I want to change my question to this. What indicator has the fastest rate of returns, like EMA takes a month or more? See, the EMA is only one. EMA is the moving average, okay? So what I do is I use several of those together, okay? The moving average, support and resistance, the trend lines, I use several of them together. So when you use more than one, you increase your probability, okay? You increase your probability of a trend, of getting onto that trend, okay? Your choice becomes better when you use multiple strategies together. So make sure that it is trending, and at the same time, okay, make sure it's trending. At the same time, look at the support and resistance. So if you're doing the support and resistance thing, if it's already bullish, okay, then that's a good move. Now, on a bearish one, you will still see that, but the risk is that it could just drip down again. So I look for support and resistance levels, I'm sorry, the moving averages that are trending up, and then I combine it with several others. Okay, and another one, Benson is asking, is it possible to buy or sell stocks outside the trading time? Okay, what you can do is, there is something called a bracket order. I'm not really familiar how to do that. It's very limited here in India. Indian trading, these automation is quite limited here. I think Indian stock market doesn't like automation too much. So, but you can have the you can set the, once you purchase it, you can set it to sell. Now you can set you can set it at a particular price and make it buy. Okay, you can do that. And but I think off the trading hours, I don't think. Let me just check if I can try that right now and see if it works out. Let's see. I put a limit order for something, but I think it will just say, it will just simply say that, sorry, your, let me just try it. Most probably it doesn't work because it will just say stock markets closed. See, stock markets are closed. You use GTT. So you can use GTT, excuse me. Yeah, so you can use GTT. That's a good till triggered order to do that. Let me try that also real quick. IOC, can I create a GTT? Yes, I can create a GTT to buy. Yes, I could do that. Let's try. I'll just put one quantity for right now just to test it out. And yeah. Yes, it created it. So there it is, your answer, Benson. Although I haven't done that yet to buy, Benson, you can do it, okay? By creating a GTT. Shall I show you on the screen how I did it? Okay, here it is. So here is my—
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Here's my watch list. And I'm looking at IOC, Indian Oil Corporation. And see, if I try to buy, okay, one quantity, if I try to buy it, what it will do is it will say, sorry, see, markets are closed right now, use the GTT. So I cancel that. And then I'm going to here, more options, create GTT, see that? And GTT means good till trigger. So I'm on the buy side, and here's the trigger price, 123.9, price 123.9, where you want to buy it. And you can set the quantity. I've set it at 1 right now, and you can set whatever you want, and then press place. Okay, and then under GTT, you will see it. There it is. See, I put 2 buy orders for IOC. There it is. And tomorrow, after market opens, it will buy it at that price once it comes to that price. Okay, but I'm going to delete it because I don't want to buy it. All right, I'll delete that real quick in case I forget it. Okay, Benson, I hope that helps. Yeah, good. Okay, any other questions, comments? We've gone beyond our 1 hour because this lesson was just too long, but I hope it's helpful, but you can watch the video later on in case it was confusing. But those who are starting new, simply use the moving average. Just use the moving average, buy 2 or 3 shares and 2 or 3 companies, and then just leave it there for 1, 2, 3, or 4 weeks. Just leave it there and let it go up in price. And some may go down, but then it will come back up again. And then once it goes up to about 3%, 5% or something, sell it. Okay. And by that time, you're watching these charts, you're watching these videos, and then you can learn how to use the support and resistance. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Mukesh, are you ready to try it again? Mukesh got
I try again.
is waiting. Yes.
Yeah, I did it, but it's triggered and I don't know what to do. But I stopped. But I try. So I'll try buy some more tomorrow. I think because
Yeah.
I already I had amount in my fund amount to 2,000. So last week they gave they said that we transferring the amount to your bank account. So the amount transferred to me.
Yes.
So I don't know why they transferred.
But yeah.
So again, then again, I made a payment for funding 1,000 rupees. So in my account, there's 1,000 rupees there.
Yes. So SEBI regulations demand that I think every quarter, every 3 months or something, that if there's cash left in your account that are unused, that it returns to you, to your account. I don't know why they do those things, but it's there. So yeah, it's fine. And what I do is I have a separate bank account just for trading. I don't use that for anything else. And one of the reasons I do that is because I also purchase stocks that pay dividends for long term. That's not trading, that's investments. Okay, that's for long term. Those are stocks that I may hold for several years, and they pay dividends. So the money comes into this account, but then I use it for trading again. So it's kind of nice, you see the alert on your phone, credit. It might only be 10 rupees, 20 rupees. Sometimes it's higher, depending on how much shares you own. Okay, good. One last question, anyone else, or shall we close here?
Yeah, one more. The last question is, I think. For me.
Yes.
What about if I'm paying tax? So I have to give some accounts details
Yeah.
to them.
Yeah. This year, when you're filing your tax, don't worry about it.
Yeah, because tomorrow I'm trying to I have to pay
Yeah.
my.
Don't worry about it this year. It's such a small, negligible amount, it's not even worth it. When you take it to your accountant, they'll look at it and they'll say, please don't bother me with this, they'll put it aside. But, next year, okay, let's believe that you're going to make some good profits this year. Next year, you can get a statement from Zerodha, March 31st. See, on April 1st, you get a statement from Zerodha for 1 year, and it's for the taxes, and it will show how much you've earned. Okay, and that amount that you earned, only the profits, that becomes part of your income. Okay, and you pay taxes on that. Yeah.
So
Paying taxes is a privilege. That means you made more money.
if we're earning, so we have to get paid tax.
Yes. Okay. Good. All right. No one else? Nothing else? Benson? You're good to go?
Fine. I'm just reading now.
Open up the chart and try drawing the lines, support and resistance lines, okay? And you can try the trading view chart. It's kind of nice, and it's very flexible also. Good. And the more you use it, the more flexible, familiar you will be with it. Good. All right, so then let's close here. God bless you all. We've gone 15 minutes over our time. All right. Sachin, I hope you're doing well. And we have only one more week on this month, and let's see how everyone does. I've already, I'm sitting at only about 2.5 to 3% right now, and I would love to get over 5%. Let's see what happens in the next 2 weeks. Okay, God bless you all. Have a great evening. Bye.
Thank you, Pastor, helping us.
Yes,
Training.
welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Lord. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye, Sachin.